And welcome to another Nerdy Collective. Hello, everybody. Thank you all for being here. This is really going to be a good show. We got a good guest on today. So, without further ado, a big shout out to a few people in the community. First, I want to say big shout out to Jay. Happy birthday, brother. Brian, Byron Brown, buddy. Thank you for last night. I loved your video games collection. And by the way, anybody out there who collects video games, the G Man is looking for the Super Mario Brothers role playing RPG instruction manual. If you come across it, let me know. I have to get it for a buddy of mine. So thank you. And without further ado, here we go. On the quest that never ends. So without further ado, let's get our guest on.
Man, I was liking that intro. There's a little violin going right there. That was sweet.
Cool. Good.
Dude, thank you for doing that.
Welcome. Welcome, Daniel.
Top.
Nice to see you. Welcome to the Nerdy Collective.
Thank you, G-Man.
Awesome. So how are you?
I'm feeling great today, man. Honestly, I got to up my intro game. I mean, we started this off with a rock concert, and then there was a violin hitting, and then I got me in the feels. I'm like,
good.
No, I'm in the feels.
Good. That's what it's about. I try to make my guests that come on for the first time special. I want them to remember it. So
that was special. I appreciate that, man.
So it takes time to do all those. So that's why I'm always asking for pictures and all that good stuff. So how have you been? How's your life been? How's your week been?
Week's been good. Life's been great. Doing my dad thing.
Yeah.
I have a nearly 2-year-old daughter, and then
Nice.
My mom's actually in town. She's actually in the other room right here. She's coming in to visit us this long weekend.
Cool.
And,
Cool.
life's good.
Okay, I'm gonna get my other guys on here. Hold on, I got some co-hosts to bring on. What's up, everybody in the chat? I really appreciate all your support. Awesome. If you got questions for Sticky Goose, please ask them in the chat, and I will post them accordingly. Here we go. Let's go with my first guest. And without further ado, boom.
What's going on, guys?
How you doing, buddy? Cool.
Not
Thanks
bad.
for being here, buddy. Awesome. So we got Sticky Goose. Finally got Daniel on. I'm so happy. Here we go.
There we go.
One more. We got another co-host. Hold on. Martin, you there? Nope. He's taking care of his kids. He'll be on with us in a second. So, Daniel, welcome to the Nerdy Collective. I have a couple more co-hosts. They'll probably show up a little later.
Okay.
Tell us about yourself, please.
Well, I'm Daniel, aka Sticky Goose. I got a YouTube channel. I talk about comic books and nerdy tings of that sort. I've been doing it for a few years now, and I've had some success with it, and I've had a lot of fun with it. I've gotten a lot of great comics. I've stirred the pot. I've caused some drama, but I also think I've done some. I think I've done some good things. I've rattled some chain, rattled some locks. You know, trying to make my stand. And a lot of people, I think, liked what I have to say, because I think a lot of people are scared to say it, or it's a different take than a lot of people have generally.
Sure. And what do you think about the people that have a very open and honest and in your face truth about certain things? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think a lot of times people that are over the top honest can be abrasive. I think a lot of times the truth hurts, and I don't know. I mean, I'm speaking like I know the truth. I'm just saying I have opinions. We all have opinions,
right?
And sometimes certain people's opinions are more digestible than others.
Sure. Jeff, where is Martin? Come on, Martin.
Wow.
Where's Uncle Roman? Uncle Roman's supposed to be here too. Ever since I changed my time, see, I used to stick. Daniel, I used to do the midnight show. So I would do it on Saturdays at noon or midnight. And then a couple months back,
East Coast, 1 o'clock. Remember, East Coast, 1 a.m.
You invited me on, I think, a while ago. And I was
a long time ago. Yes, I got that old video.
I can't go on at like midnight, dude. I've got
I remember. There's a few people in the community that couldn't do it because it was just too late in the morning. Yeah.
Well, I got a question for Daniel though.
Go ahead, buddy.
So, what's the wife think of the collecting habit? Like, I know you got omnibus statues, slabs. So, what does she think of all this? The collecting thing, the YouTube thing.
Yeah, she supports me. I'm limited to this room. Like I can't bring like a Spider-Man statue up in the living room. I mean, there's
limited to a room? Really?
Yeah, I'm limited.
The G-Man, I am so spoiled. My queen gave me the whole first floor. It is comics, the whole first floor, except for the kitchen and upstairs. No upstairs, no kitchen. But I got the whole first floor of the house. It's full of my stuff. Really? You get stuck in a room, a cave.
Yeah, and then that's awesome. It's honestly, it really feels like 40-year-old virgin down here a little bit. And somebody walks into your home and sees this shit. I mean, this is something you have to discuss. Like, it's not like this is not normal. What we collect and stuff. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's normal for you guys, but it's
Martin, are you there yet? Come on, Martin. Jump in here anytime now, buddy.
Boy, Governor.
Yeah,
So
well,
I get it.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
I
Joe.
hope to find, like I said, I hope to find somebody that understands our collecting habits, because if not,
At the same time, I mean, it's one of those things. It's interesting because she's not really a collector. I've talked to her about nostalgia. She has no nostalgia for things like, you know, she like her like toys as a kid, because I mean, so much of this is just, you know, memories of your childhood. I mean, I still have my action figures, and she doesn't feel that, which is really strange. So, you know, meeting somebody, I mean, it's okay if they don't like your stuff, but they just they have to understand it. Maybe, I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah. That's my thing. Is I hope they understand it. That's my point. Is
Oh, we got another co-host that just showed up. Hang on, wait a second. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Buddy!
Oh, yeah. What's going on, man? Good.
Hell yeah!
Good afternoon to everybody. Big shout out to everybody. And man, Robert, I'm mad at you. I cannot believe that you did not tell me this guy.
Dude, I've always wanted to meet this guy. Holy shit.
I'm sorry.
Sorry,
man, me and THORO have known each other for years. Him and I have been buddies for years.
Dude, I got stage right now.
Listen, right now I think my sugar's low. I don't know.
You're the man, dude.
Nah, man, yo, listen. Good to finally meet StickyGoose. I have to give you a tip of the hat here, bro, because this guy has been, you know, he's given me a shout out on his channel. Yep. I've shouted him out on mine because you know, a lot of people might not like what he says, but I always just keep saying.
Like I said, he's just got his personal opinion. Exactly.
Exactly. And it shouldn't really matter. It's like I tell people all the time, you know, enjoy, like what you like. If you don't like something, you don't have to watch it. You don't have to deal with it. There's people that get upset about a lot of things, to include what I say. But in the end, again, like I said, man, you just, you know, everybody has choices in life, and I choose to watch StickyGoose. I laugh at a lot of the stuff this guy does. Shout out to you.
Keep it thorough, baby. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir, man. Good to see everybody. It's been quite a minute. You know,
it's been a while.
Big time.
Yeah, so man, it's good to see you guys. Happy New Year to everybody. Who I have not seen in quite some time. So happy New Year to everybody. But I'm still mad at you, Robert.
I'm sorry, dude. I thought it'd be a surprise.
It's so good. I like surprises.
I brought you up last week. I go, hey, if you're gonna have him on, might as well have THORO on too.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is gonna be a good combo right here. It's gonna be like the Wonder Twins, you know. Let's go.
You're losing viewers like crazy now, man. G-Man.
What's that?
You're losing viewers now like crazy. You got me and THORO on here. Oh shit!
Hey, yeah.
Your account's dropping.
Love it. You guys,
can I address the leather face in the room? Where the fuck did you get that thing, dude?
I had him for quite some time, man. I had him for maybe I think it's 4 years now. Damn. 4 years since I had him. Yeah, and I just never had the chance to put him out there. You know what it was too? It's laziness by me, because since Halloween, I had him outside of my house. And I just never, I was like, you know what? I was like, I haven't had the chance. I've been working and doing the channel, and I got my 2 kids. I got my wife, so everybody needs time. And by the time I was like, you know what? This guy's probably going to be here all of 2024. Hopefully not.
He's business.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Thor, did you finally get that slap from in between his legs?
Yeah. I did. I finally did. I put it somewhere, dude. I chucked that damn thing. I was like, whatever. I have no problem, bro. I don't, I know a lot of people probably like, I can't believe you did that. There's other people that are like, yeah, they're all cheering, but yeah, it was just, it's like I told people, I was like, the only way for me to find out if that thing is genuine, because I bought it from a dealer at a con, at a show, at a local con, and I just pretty much gave him a, he said that his wife pretty much was like, yeah, hey buddy, it's either me or the comics got to go. So he gave me some good deals on them, and I was just like, you know what, whatever, I'll take it. It'd be something cool to at least have. And even though I've come across those books on, like probably like 1,000 times over and over again, I was like, all right, and then he was just, I guess every guy goes through that moment where at some point everybody's like, you got to let go of these things. And I'm just like, that sucks. Because the dude was on like 29. Yeah. So I was like, hey, ooh. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, bro.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask a question. Okay. All right. And this is for Sticky Goose.
Oh, shit.
So Sticky Goose, where do you reside, first off?
I'm from West by God, Virginia.
You're from West by God, Virginia. What part?
I'm in southern West Virginia.
Southern West Virginia. All right. So I used to live on the Eastern Panhandle. That's how you know I used to live in West Virginia.
Yep.
In Charlestown, where the racists and sluts. I mean, the racists and slots. All right.
The casino's there.
Yes. I used to live there for quite some time because of my job. But nah, man, yeah, I always wondered. I was like, I don't know if this guy, he's giving me Ohio vibes.
No, come on, that's offensive.
I'm kidding.
Get out of here, bro. I don't do that.
And I thought I heard you say that you were from West Virginia, man. Yeah. So I wanted to put that little fact out there myself. Yeah, I used to live out there.
Yeah, West Virginia. It's a weird place. Like once you've lived here, or if you're from here, it's like you got a little chip on your shoulder. It's like, I don't know, it's like home cooking. I mean, I guess a lot of people from New York feel the same way, where it's this home. Like this is where I'm from. A lot of people are transplants. A lot of these big cities. It's like, I mean, I guess you kind of develop it becomes your home maybe, but yeah. I mean, West Virginia.
I got a question. I don't think you've actually answered it on any of your shows. I don't think. Maybe one. I think it was your recent one. You kind of did.
Okay.
So, Daniel, how did you start this journey on YouTube? What got you inspired? All that kind of stuff. What got you going on it? Doing what you do?
Yeah, it was COVID. I think like so many other channels, bored, wasn't working. I had been watching YouTube for years and years and years. Specifically, I was watching a lot of video game content, a lot of nerd content. And I was like, well, shit, I can do that. And I put a camera up, and then I realized, oh man, this is a lot harder than I thought. And along the journey, I kind of like built myself up in a way. It's kind of like you learn a lot about yourself watching your videos, re-editing your stuff, and then especially the comments, which I'm sure all of us know, specifically THORO. People will let you know exactly who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
And it's a humbling thing, and I respect everybody that's on this panel, because you got a mic and a camera in your face, and to do that takes balls. And regardless of whether you got 1 subscriber or 150,000 subscribers, you're putting your face and your words. You're putting your words to a face, and with that comes scrutiny. And I mean, how I got started in it was it was just kind of just like a fun thing, and I was like, I'm gonna try to run with this. And then it kind of morphed into something else over time. And I was like, I'm not the same as a lot of other people. I quickly realized that, because a lot of the people I watched, they were all making the same videos. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to do something a little bit different. And when I started becoming more myself, see, in the beginning, I wasn't myself in my videos. I was trying to be
Right.
something I thought other people wanted me to be. And once I stopped giving a fuck and stopped being Daniel and started being Daniel,
Yes,
that's when my channel exploded. So one of the things that I'll tell anybody that is doing this, be yourself, because that's the best way to go. Not only will you be happy with the content you make, but I guarantee you people can see through it.
absolutely. I couldn't agree more. That's why I haven't changed. That's why I know I may be old and I might be gotten like stuck in the same thing over and over again, but I enjoy it. And I look at it this way. That was awesome, Daniel. You get it. You get it. And I know THORO gets it. I know Jeff gets it. Everybody that's usually on this crew and everybody in the chat today gets it. And it's like, kind of like, this is always, unless YouTube dies or the internet crashes and we lose everything, these videos are going to be out there forever.
Right.
So one of the other reasons why I like to do this is people like you and you, all you guys, and the people in the chat. It's like, my grandkids are going to learn something. My kids are learning something. They watch my show and they're just kind of like, Dad, that's Dad? Really? Got Grandpa? You know? So it's kind of like a legacy kind of thing. So when I'm long gone, these shows will still be running out there.
Yeah, it's a wild thing to know that your children will be able to see who you are when you're 30 years old.
Exactly.
35 years old. And I would love to see who my dad was, who my mom was at my age. I mean,
Sure.
I see it's a pretty wild thing. It's kind of like a time capsule.
Yep. Pretty much.
Definitely is, man. And you know, something that I like about Sticky Goose, and you know, again, you know, why I give a shout out to him is because, like he said, it's all about authenticity. You know, a lot of people want to turn into something that you're really not. And you know that, you know, once you show your true self, again, the biggest part of it is you got to be okay with not being liked.
Yep.
See, that's the number one thing. It's like there's too many people that, you know, that want to come on. They want to get liked by everybody. It is impossible to get liked by everybody. Even if you were to throw a persona on the camera and not be you, somebody's gonna dislike what you're putting out there.
Oh,
like that's the thing. And like I said, you have to have a heart to come on here and speak your mind, because people are not everybody's gonna like you, and you just have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Big shout out to the chat. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, becoming a villain is
not
Scott
there. You see that, THORO?
Yeah, no, listen, man, leave my Yankees alone, man. Leave them alone.
Cool. Questions for Sticky Goose, please. Martin, buddy, nice to see you. How are the kids? Kids good? Good.
They're good. I'm going to probably end up with indigestion after stuffing down my tea so quickly. So.
All good, buddy. Anybody in the chat like to ask questions? The best time to ask it would be right now. You guys are awesome. Girls are really relaxing. Thank you for being here. Awesome. Gentlemen?
Just talking about like what we were just saying, like being a villain, being the bad guy is not, I'm sure when everybody puts a camera in front of their face, not what they were anticipating. And I don't know how that morphed. I mean, I kind of understand how it morphed, but it was drama kind of invaded comic book YouTube with the acetate gate and probably even a little bit before that. But there was just this influx of YouTube people making that type of content, and people started clicking. G-Man, you're muted.
Of course.
Sorry. Gonna interrupt you there for a second. When you're talking about acetate and all the things that have been going on, that's one thing I appreciate about both of your channels, especially THORO and your channel, because you bring it to fruition. You bring it to the attention of collectors like ourselves, so we don't get stuck in that damn trap and know the truth about what's going on. I love it. You guys are like perfect news commentary. We got WCCO here, and we got USA down here.
It's hard to get information that is not tampered with. Like several situations I've been in, I got bad information, and I don't want to put stuff out that is not correct. And I've been incorrect. I try to own up to
We're all the same way.
And it's one of those things. It's like, if you're not there and you didn't see it and you didn't hear it from the horse's mouth, like, do you actually know the shit was real? Did you know that it happened? And, you know, I got a lot of respect now for like real journalists, like on these big news networks that try to get these scoops. I mean, dude, that is work.
Yeah.
It definitely is, man. You gotta do a lot of, you know, you definitely have to do a lot of, you know, investigating, because there's people that, you know, they'll start something, they'll fake something, and then they'll try to pass it on to you. And I'm there like, okay, well, something's wrong with what the hell you're saying. And it's almost like a gut instinct starts to hit you. Yeah. And you just start talking to more people, and you try to corroborate the story and try to say, hey, okay, you know what? Like this is legit at this point. And then I go to the source's mouth too. Like, you know, a lot of people were asking me like, hey, well, where do you get your information from? I was like, you got to knock on people's doors. You got to ask the questions that don't want to be asked. And if people answer them, people answer them. If people don't want to answer it, then you got to be okay with that too. And you got to walk away. Somewhere or another, you're going to find information from a lot of other folks too. There's, you know, you're not going to get, you know, just like Sticky Goose said, I've gotten things wrong too. I've hit up people and I've said, hey, listen, I apologize. I've made it public. I've said, hey, listen, I apologize about this. And then there's people that are just kind of like, they're like, hey, thank you. I didn't think you were going to apologize. I thought you were just going to put out bad information and call it a day. I was like, why would I? That, you know, that plays out on my, you know, on me as a person. If I'm coming out here, you know, talking, saying, hey, I'm looking for the truth, I'm speaking on the truth and all these things, why would I put myself in that situation if I'm like, hey, you know what, if I messed up, I own up to it. But there's a lot of stuff. And, you know what's different? Like, you know, again, Sticky Goose made a great point. It's like, you know, today, like, everything is all drama. The problem was that it used to exist back in the days. The difference now is that we're more vocal about it, and people want to talk about things because you're like, hey, you know, if you know that there's something that's not right, you got to stand, you got to put your feet on the ground and say, you know what, that's not right. This is, you know, this is just completely wrong. Are we all perfect? Absolutely freaking not. But the biggest thing is that now people want to be more vocal about things because it frustrates everybody. It's the same thing that got me down this line, is because there was just too much BS. There was a lot of people coming out with, you know, with information as far as trying to like manipulate the market, doing all these different things that I personally went through. I went through those where I was being sold on something that I was just kind of like, you know, what the F? And it's like that's what got me started on this journey. And I was like, oh, I'm tired of these assholes out here who are making all these fake claims about a lot of different crap. And people just don't, you know, people don't think about it. I always look at it this way. I was like, whatever you put out there, whatever you do in your life, there's always going to be repercussions. It might not be today, might not be tomorrow. It will definitely catch up to you in the future. And that's what I'm seeing with a lot of people. And that's why that little saying of mine has come out where I just say, you know what, I just sit back and eat my popcorn. And some people try to figure that out. People were like, what the hell do you mean about this? You like popcorn that much? I'm like, no, it's just a little saying that, yeah, sometimes you just got to relax yourself, sit back, and eventually everything comes to light. And look at what's going on right now with this whole like reholder stuff happening with CGC, for example.
Serious.
And some people are like, oh, why are you speaking out against it? And why are you doing this? And I'm just like, because as a customer that I used to send thousands upon thousands of dollars to this company, why the hell wouldn't I be able to speak about it? You know, I have every right to talk about it and say something against all the BS that's going on, because I value the stuff that I have, that I own, you know?
Yeah. And it's one of those things, your silence speaks volumes if you don't speak about this. And, you know, a lot of people kind of speak, going back to what THORO was saying, a lot of people want to be first, and I've been there, and I can see as far as like coming out with information and then you're not coming correct. Like if you're first, sometimes you're wrong, and it's not always best to be first. It's better to be right. And and have your information. But the CGC reholder thing, I was super skeptical of that in the beginning because I didn't know the information was legit. The stuff that I was seeing, it felt like it was being manipulated. It felt like there was something going on other than just the reholder scam. It felt like somebody had an axe to grind, and it felt like they were trying to make something that wasn't real. And then once CGC said it was real, I was like, oh God, oh, this is real. But it didn't feel legit. And that's one of those things. I'm not trying to backpedal on it, but it was like, it didn't feel right.
Well, the thing is too, there is a lot of people out there. Anytime me and Jeff either brought up situations, even Martin, we've talked about it on the show before about some of the stuff that goes on with CGC and the other companies. They're a corporation. Once they got your money, it's done. You know, it's like they should correct their mistakes. And we already know what a lot of the bad things that they've done in the past. This has just been coming to fruition now. And they're saying they're marking, 300 books that they've got registered. It's like, seriously, there's got to be more than that, so it makes you scratch your head. And for new collectors out there, I want them to know what's going on. And there's a lot of people that are heavily invested in it. Yourself, I've got slabs. There's a lot of people out there that got slabs.
All of us got
it's very disappointing when you see that. It really is.
I wonder if like the lay person, and I mean the not comic book YouTube person, are they aware of this? Like, what is the pulse of this knowledge? Like when I go to Heroes Con or this year, when I go to these conventions, like is the show goer going to know about this? What do you guys think?
I think it makes its way out, bro.
Yeah,
I think it makes its way out.
It gets out there. Yeah. It does.
Not everyone will know. Not everyone goes on YouTube. Not everyone checks out the news. Not everyone does it because I get on well with Stevie B, and I didn't know what on earth Stevie B was on about, so I had to do some research, and that was last week, so I didn't know about it because there's so much putting blatantly shit out there going around.
Could you imagine if this story could actually hit? Could you imagine if this story about this whole thing hit the national networks on the news and made some? If it hit that, I think that would sting a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
But there's not just one person doing it. There's probably 100 people been doing it for donkey's years.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, as far as like,
got to argue the case. Oh, they're swapping pages over in a book. What's the difference between swapping pages in a book to pressing the book? Because if you press a book, the book isn't as you took it off the shelf. So you're still adjusting it. You're still manipulating that book to not what it was originally.
Sure.
And a lot of people will hate me for saying that, but we all do it. We'll all get a book pressed or whatever.
We all press and clean it. So yeah, understandable. Yeah.
We all know how we come out the boxes all trashed. That's actually how the book comes.
And just speaking on what you said, like you were kind of catching yourself up to speed and you had heard about it a couple of days ago. That's the thing. Like not everybody wants to have their fingers on the pulse of this. Some people just want to read their fucking comic books and live their life. Like we want to have a little bit more. I mean, I want to know the news of comic books. I mean, that's important to me. I'm investing a portion of my time into looking at these things, talking about these things. Not everybody wants to do that, and I respect that. But for something like this, it's kind of important for you to be educated on something like this so you don't get scammed. It's honestly one of those things where you're kind of doing your due diligence of keeping up. Because I always laughed at my dad for like watching the news every day.
Yep.
And I'm like, what are you doing? And it comes from a place of you're trying to prevent ignorance. You're trying to educate yourself so that you actually have a stand. I used to think like, oh, well, I could just ignore it and it'll, it doesn't apply to me. Well, this shit applies to me. I got a freaking wall of CGC books.
Yeah.
So it gets real when you start talking about this.
Definitely, man. It's changing absolutely for everybody. The dynamics of collecting. It's like I told, last year in my last show for 2023, I told everybody that 2024 should be the year where you just get educated on everything collectibles. Like for me, you don't see everything I collect here. Like I
See,
collect
THORO, you're like my
clothing.
psychic.
Yeah, I got, I collect vintage clothing. I collect, I do my own art. So what a lot of people don't know about me is I paint. I do my own things. I just don't share that with the masses because that's something that actually got me through my PTSD and anxiety. And it's something that to this day, I don't share. So there's more to my collecting. There's toys, there's cards, anime stuff. I just love absolutely everything. And, it just keeps on freaking growing and growing and growing. But to be honest with you, with what Sticky was saying before, is like, do you think this stuff is going to make its way out to everybody when, you go to a con and they come up to you and be like, yo, I can't believe all this CGC. I'm not buying no CGC, slabs anymore. No, it's not going to make it to everybody because they want to try to limit any of this from being put out there to the masses because they know that if it does make it to every ear out there, everybody is probably more than likely not going to buy anything right now because they're going to say, you know what, I don't have any trust in CGC. The great part about this is that, for years, for example, for myself, I've been talking about, because people asked me, they were like, bro, why do you stop slabbing? I said, I have my own personal issues. Books that I submitted, not coming back anymore. They go missing. Something happened to my books. Just a lot of things where I was just like, okay, well, what kind of company are you if you guys are just carelessly taking my books? And I'm not talking about no, freaking just random books that come out every Wednesday. I'm talking about like, I had an FF49 freaking just go missing. And I'm like, how the hell do you lose my book? Like just all these little questions that were just coming up just throughout my course of collecting. And I wanted to educate myself. I started educating myself on the fact that, hey, CGC does grading in a certain way. Then I start reading the fine letter print. Freaking grading is subjective. So then I start saying to myself, why the hell am I sending anything to get graded? The only real perk you're really giving me is you're sort of protecting my collectible. And in reality, you're truly not, because you would have to, like putting gases into the freaking inner wells and do all these things to preserve your book completely 100%. Over time, something that CGC doesn't share with everybody is like, every 10 years, I think it is now, that you have to re-slab, in order to protect your book. They don't say that that's all in the fine print. So all those little things is like, has come to me from just education. I never shared this with anybody because when I did, everybody would start saying, they're like, oh, you're just a hater. You're this, you're that. Yep. And now that all of this is coming out to light, everybody's like, damn, dude, like I'm over here. Like, I'm not surprised, there's just a lot of crap that's going to continue on happening. And the reason why nobody knew about these things is because nobody really wanted to address it. And now that it's becoming a major issue, everybody's like up in arms. Everybody's like, and I'm there like, this isn't anything new. This is something that's been existing. I mean, I've been around, like I got out of collecting. I came back into collecting like around 2004, 2005. And I remember all the scams that were going on back then. Just wasn't being put out. The information wasn't out there like it is right now. It's just the information now gets poured out so quickly that now everybody's aware of it. But back then it was like nobody cared. You know what I mean?
Yep. Real quick, Sticky Goose, we got a question in the chat. Hang on here. I mean, both suppose put it up here. I just had it.
We've got a few questions in the chat
from Lady Fantastic.
Yeah.
When did you start collecting?
2019. So, I was very fortunate. My father bought comic books in the mid 60s. That was his entertainment. 12 cents to the newsstand. He bought DC books, bought DC war books, some DC superhero stuff too. But he and I kind of went through his old collection one day.
Cool.
And I was like, oh man, this is awesome. Now, as far as reading and as far as superhero lore and stuff.
Yeah, there's another second question from Lady Fantastic again. She said, what titles do you have most? Nostalgia or the love for?
Yeah. So like, I mean, I've been reading for a while. I would read the trades and I had like Comixology. But then once I got my hands on like the old Silver Age physical books, I was like, oh man, I want to be a part of this. And as far as nostalgia, my most nostalgic character is Firelord. I used to play this game called Hero Clicks. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this.
No.
It's a superhero tabletop game where you could collect these miniatures, and they had like all the major Marvel.
Oh, yeah, okay. I think I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
Yeah, and they kind of like, it's like Pokemon cards in a sense that it's like randomized in the boxes, so you didn't know which figures you would get. And I had one of my favorite ones was Firelord, and my nickname was Firelord Boss. So you know it's serious. And so that I have the most nostalgia for that. But as far as stories, I remember reading The Dark Knight Returns. And that's the most nostalgic because that was the first graphic novel I ever got, first trade paperback I ever got, and that's the most nostalgic for me.
All right, and then Scott Farr, I think you said, so being the Marvel Cinematic Universe affects the value of books, the first appearance issues, at a rate of what it's pumping out of the movies. Film quality has been on decline. Will this hurt?
Yes. The MCU, I've made a video about this. I talked about this. The MCU should not dictate the value of comics exclusively. The value of comics, it's really confusing. Like Hulk 181 is the perfect example. The book is not freaking rare in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
But everybody wants the book. Books that are rare, like just looking behind me, like Walking Dead #1. I mean, there's less than like 7,000 or 8,000 of those books. Obviously, a modern book, but that's like a truly rare book, and because it's rare, its value theoretically should increase. But this MCU stuff, it's caused these surges and these crashes in these prices, and you can just see how so many books that are awesome first appearances, awesome characters, awesome storylines, they just tank and crash because the movie sucked. Well, it shouldn't be that way, but unfortunately, it is.
Cool. Anybody else?
No, definitely agree with what Sticky Goose is saying right now. I mean, that stuff, the MCU should have never dictated absolutely anything that had to do with comics. But it's it's what everybody's being taught. Who knows where you learned it from? There's, again, it depends on who you're watching, who you're in business with. When people start sharing information like that and you start showing that excitement and start saying, oh my God, guys, Thanos is going to be coming out. Like, now Iron Man 55 is the book. Let's go. And people see that, especially during like times of COVID. What do you think people were going to do? People were like, man, this is a new hobby I could get into. I like this. I like the excitement from this person. I like all of that, the illusion. So then everybody fell for it, and we were all on it. I was on there too, where I was like, speculating on things because I've always read. So I've done, that's where my knowledge comes from, reading comic books since the 90s. And by the time I got there, I'm like, man, people don't even know about this character over here. Let me go ahead and share it with people, and so on and so forth. And then it causes excitement. It causes FOMO. And even to this day, people do suffer from FOMO. Some of us might look at it differently because now like I said, we educated ourselves. But at the same time, you see people going out there on a limb and they're like, oh my God, like I want this book. Like the latest one with the female Silver Surfer, for example. Everybody.
Oh, that's driving me nuts.
They're still going crazy for it.
No idea.
And I, for example, myself, I told people, I was like, listen, just in case something like this happens, here you go. You can find this book in the back bins. Don't go on eBay. Don't go anywhere. You can find them in the back bins, going for freaking $0.25 to $1. Yep. Sure as hell, they're all there. What do? I'm like, just to prove a point, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go hunting the next day, go into the back bins, and I'm finding 3, 4, and just like like Sticky Goose said, for example, Hulk 181.
Yep.
Should it be going for 6 figures? In my honest opinion, hell no, because that book is so abundant. What makes it special? What makes it scarce? What makes it rare? Absolutely nothing. That book is freaking out there. It doesn't matter what grade you can find the book in. It is out there. It is all over the place.
And it's amazing too. It's amazing too, Thorough. Like on the grade, how much of a fluctuation in price for a graded book. That's insane.
ASM 300, ASM 300, another book.
Yeah.
The most.
By the way, I still never graded mine, Thorough.
I'm glad, bro. I'm glad. And
I
you know
still
how
have
many
it.
copies? You know how many copies of ASM 300? And
Yeah.
this is not
No
to like
kidding.
put this out there, make myself seem like no. This is just for me collecting. I remember when I used to buy an ASM 300 for $5 back in freaking in the 90s because that it wasn't worth what it is right now. I'm talking about $10 in the 2000s, $15. Wasn't nothing crazy like it is now. An overabundantly book that people can question all day. Is that the first appearance of Venom? I'm personally going to say, well, the first time I saw him was in 299 when I remember reading 299, and that was the first time. But that's again another problem that I've had is like CGC, for example, any of these grading companies is like, oh, let's let the market dictate, and it's like if you know by definition, if you were to open up the CGC grading book, which I thought was the biggest mistake they ever did, was putting that out there to everybody. You open up that book, and when they start defining first appearances, they start saying the character fully appears, the character states their name, they do this, they do that, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, well then why the hell isn't Hulk 180 the first Wolverine? Why the hell isn't ASM 299 the first Venom? There's a lot of questions that that remain truly unanswered when it comes to collecting. But again, it just comes down to you guys getting educated and just knowing where you're getting your information from. And, even if you don't want to follow people and watch YouTube or Instagram or anything, go out there. There's a lot of articles. There's a lot of ways to find, Wikipedia all day. Like you can do whatever to your heart's content.
Yeah. My biggest thing with creators is what is their influence? What is motivating somebody to make certain type of content? You have to question that, and the question in the content you're consuming. It's just a lot of these guys. I'm like, okay, what are the motivations here? And THORO spoke about it. I think the people that read the books are going to have the most knowledge of any spec coming down the pipe. There's no influencer, there's no YouTuber that is going to know as much as a real reader. And to me, if you really want to spec, start reading some of the most classic runs. To me, I think anybody that's in this game and is trying to play the game of investing and all that stuff, you need to have read the major classic runs. Like there's like homework you got to do, and nobody wants to do that. It's easy to go to your favorite influencer and say, what's the top 10? What do I need to do? What's coming down the pipeline? And the information is bad, and it leads to you overpaying for something that's not even something you don't give a shit about. Two, it may not come to fruition. It's not worth it.
So you got a question here from Brian says, I bought some comics from you. What do you enjoy more, doing live sales or marketing or commenting videos? Talk to me, Goose.
I hate doing live sales. I haven't done a live sale in over a year. I completely stopped doing that on my channel because of that very thing we were talking about. I don't want there to be any confusion as to what my motivations are when I'm making content. I am not selling anything to anybody. What I am selling is I'm trying to make the best content I possibly can that you will click on, that you will enjoy, and that you'll want to come back for more. That is what I'm trying to do. There are no hidden motivations. And there's several guys in the community. I just was on a live stream with Immaculate Comics. This is the guy that cracked the slab. You can tell that guy has no hidden motives. He's just making content to disseminate that his knowledge of the things he's done. That's the kind of things I want to make. I want to make videos that are interesting. Now, unfortunately, and THORO will speak to this as well, if it doesn't say something like scam, thieves, fraud, not many people are clicking that shit. And that's just the cold reality. G-Man, you're promoting positivity, happiness, family, togetherness. People don't want to see that shit.
No, I know. Nope. I know. And I don't care.
But I appreciate that. It's tough because it's like that should be the things people click on, but it almost becomes pornographic in a way to see somebody fail, to see something happening. Like that's why there's so many videos of people's homelessness and cracking.
Getting to your point, Daniel, getting to your point when you're talking about that, and people don't give a crap about, certain things. I always look at it this way. Something my uncle told me when I was really young, and he goes, it's not the things that you do in the moment, but it's the things that will happen in the future. What happens on the past that people will actually realize, what you're trying to do or your motivations of anything good in life. I always try to see a little bit, and THORO has always put me on the correct path. He's like, dude, I'll ask him a question about certain thing that's bothering me in, life. And, he helps. He's a buddy. He helps.
Mhm.
Jeff has done it. Martin has done it multiple times. And it's like, I always want to try to see humans a little bit better. And there's always a stinker out there. Always. It's always, so I get your point. Real quick. Sorry. I'm trying to get to the chat at the same time here, but buddy, CFAP is asking, what is your most prized book you own?
My Batman 181. It's First Appearance Poison Ivy. It's I got it graded, and the reason it's my most prized book, it's not my most valuable book. It's the one that was in my dad's collection. It was the one that really stood out, and I was like, oh man, this is a good one. And we both kind of, and my dad kind of paged through it, and he was like, I remember this story, and I got chill bumps kind of talking about it because it was like, I don't know, we just kind of bonded on that. So I'm never selling that copy. That's a prized book for me.
Nice. All right. CFAP's asking, do you think Gambit's first appearance is in the annual or 266?
It goes back to what THORO is talking about and letting the market decide. That's a perfect example of that. The market says 266. The actuality, it's the annual. So that's the answer.
Yep. There you go, CFAP.
You're being controversial, Sticky Goose.
Oh, what is it? What is he saying?
That's why the Kardashians are famous, folks, because of drama. I mean, that's what it is. It's like, I'm sure, a lot of you guys here on the panel right now, and you make videos, like you could sit there as a creator, right? And you could say, man, this is the greatest video I've ever put out. I felt like that. Man, the views are like nothing. Nothing.
Oh,
and you go and do something, and like he said, keywords, scam, drama alert, all that shit. Boom, everybody's flooding in there. Everybody's like, oh man, what's going on now? I'm here for this. I'm getting my popcorn ready. And everybody's like, yeah, everybody's absorbing it. But again, when you do actually put something out there, you're just like, I'm there like, man, there's nobody knows about this character. I know about this character from reading so-and-so, like Avengers World, for example. And there's so many first appearances in that storyline that people don't ever talk about. I'm over there like excited. This is awesome, badass freaking run for Avengers World, which is a great freaking read. If you guys never checked it out, check it out. But I'm there like, oh man, look at all this. Man, I do it. It's like 200 views. And if I were to go and say, oh man, this is drama, scam artist, boom, man, it's like fucking views are just racking up, and it's just kind of like, damn, it's like, what freaking, what point do you want to freaking just, come to a stop, come to an end with it? For me, for example, it's like I keep up with it because I personally can't stand that shit. I personally can't stand people getting taken over, for freaking being stupid. And just, and again, am I supposed to be the guy that protects everyone? Absolutely not, man. This is why I just tell people, get educated, know who the fuck you watch, know who you listen to. But yeah, drama freaking sells 24/7. It's just, I mean, that it's like human beings are built for that, and they enjoy it. They love to see, the worst of the worst.
Just like sex, same thing.
Yeah.
Well, they know, but yeah, they do. Even our greatest politicians, they're a freak, baby.
Weapon X butter popcorn, bro.
Yeah.
That's my
Real quick, I got to do something.
that's my go-to, man. That's my go-to.
So big shout out, Eric. I love you. That's my brother right there. I love you.
Nice.
Yeah, I miss mom too. Love you, buddy. Okay, and to John as well. I know he's watching. Hi, you guys. Okay, sorry, quick interruption.
Nah.
What was it?
You guys have a couple more questions in the chat. It looks like.
I'm looking for it. Where was it?
What kind of popcorn does Sticky Goose like?
Yeah, that's what it was. There it is.
I'm gonna ask him, what kind of popcorn do you like?
Man, that's a tough one. Man, you remember remember back at Christmas time, you get that big tin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had the butter, and then you had the cheddar, and then you had the caramel. Oh, dude.
Everything.
I want to get some of that.
He's like, man, I want the menage a trois here. He's like,
You'd eat on that for months. It felt like you were like sitting in your room playing Super Nintendo. Like, I'm living life in here.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
Has anyone asked why it's Sticky Goose?
Oh
No.
Yeah. That's a great question.
Yeah. So, do you guys know what Mavis Beacon Typing School is?
Yes.
Okay.
There
There was this typing game back in the day called Sticky Bear Challenge, and you had to type fast enough to prevent the bear from falling in the honey.
Yeah.
Well, my gamer tag was Sticky Bear, and I lost my login info, and I was like, I got to think of another sticky animal, and I thought Sticky Beaver, nah. Sticky Swan, no. Silly Goose, Sticky Goose, and that was how it was born.
Gotcha.
Nice, man.
Gotcha.
It's really funny to get mad at somebody named Sticky Goose. Like, it's not like I'm like world trusted #1 comic book creator, and I'm like, I'm Sticky Goose. Like, how are you trusting somebody named Sticky Goose? Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a troll. It's a troll.
Gentlemen, you got more questions for Sticky Goose?
That was a great question for Martin. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I can't believe no one's asked it. It's like me being nosy. I haven't been watching you, so there's so many comic channels out there. I just ring fence myself, stay with my friends, and if we're having anyone on the show, do a little bit of research if we get the time. But it's like we had this stupid competition for comic channels.
Oh gosh, here we go again.
Shut up and let me speak. I don't know.
Go ahead.
They organise it. Let's just ring fence everybody when there's people out there. There's thousands of people out there. Don't make competitions when you don't know how everyone's out there. It's kind of rude because you miss people out, and we all make a good point of making either good content, shit content, or content we're happy with putting out there. But I don't know why people try and make awards when you don't know everyone, because it's like doing a streets award. They're missing the 2 houses out at the end of the row because you don't like them. That's and people just don't know. Like, there's my little channel. I don't do a lot, but of comics anymore as much. But we all make an effort. Well, I kind of do sometimes. So,
yeah, of course, Martin. Come on.
But no, one thing I say.
Look at air spiders hitting you.
Looking at your you got 8,000 subs, and subs mean nothing. Never worry about your subs. I looked at all your views. You're generally getting often double your views compared to your subscription. That's what matters. Your views, not your subs, because people who sub don't bother watching. Just do it because they click it, but never end up watching. But I've seen, and like I've got minimized now on here, you've got 2 months ago, 2,300, 6K, 9.6K views. Some people with 20,000 subscribers don't get that amount of views. So that's the first thing I noticed. So kudos to getting all that. I think that's pretty good, considering you've been going about the same amount of time as I have.
People
But
watch
no no one had. I didn't have that collection because my parents were never into comics or anything like that. So, damn.
Yeah. People watch my content and I think they don't like me. I think people like hate watch me. Which is awesome because a view's a view. But the people that have supported me, see my subs, the people that are subscribed to me, they actually watch my shit. And I'm with you. Like it's like THORO too. Like THORO's channel should be way bigger, more subs. Dude's getting crazy people in the live chat, and I'm like, the subscriber thing is a weird thing to me, and it's so weird because it costs nothing to do. But that subscribe is a power thing. It is a vote. It is I cast my lot for you. And that vote is, I mean, it's awesome, but I would take exactly what Martin was saying. If people are watching me and watching my shit, I'm taking that over the sub numbers any day of the week.
Yeah. Because you don't know how many subscribers are really coming back.
No,
you honestly don't. Nope. You can never tell. It's like it's the views, and I've gotten, because for me, for example, like with Sticky Goose, I was like, I laugh because people send me videos from Sticky, and I'm like, all right, I entertain it because I'm like, I watched it, because I end up watching a lot of his shit. He freaking makes me laugh the whole damn time because people do. They'll watch you because they hate you sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they'll freaking, like, I'll have people show up in my chat, for example, and I'm like, I'll highlight your crap. You could be talking shit about me. Here you go. Boom. I highlight it, and then I just talk back. I'm like, well, if you're willing to dish it out, be prepared to receive it. So, for example, people be like, man, I don't like this guy. They'll send me a video of Sticky, and I start laughing. I'm like, yo, you can't take him serious. Like, he does these things because it's like, I know how he does it. He does these because he knows that if I get people riled up, people are gonna fucking come back again. And it's the truth. If you do get people riled up, people do come back because now they're like, yo, do I hate this guy this fucking much that I gotta go back and click on his channel again to see what video he just came out with? That's how people function. Unfortunately, it is what it is. You make the best out of it, but at the same time, can I say that Sticky Goose's content is not great and he's just after people? No. There's things that he puts out, and again, you'll see the varying views. You'll be like, okay, you know what? I got 2,000 views on this one, but when his drama is freaking 10,000 plus, and it's like, and it's like at the same time, it's like you don't, one thing that I always give props to Sticky is I can definitely 100% tell he's not a shill, 100 freaking percent, and I'm gonna tell you guys why, because he sticks to said content, right? He could do something about drama, and then he goes back to his normal stuff that he's like, for him, like I said for myself, I could be like, you know what, I love this. This is what I want to be here for, about comic books. And you go back to that, and it's like, even if you get, 500 views versus 10,000, you still do it. And that's why I try to tell people, it's like, that's how you could decipher people. That's how you could tell, like, if somebody's still doing something that they genuinely love, then you know that even though they do the drama stuff and anything of that nature, you could still tell that, like, yo, you know what, this person is real. This person's not just all about the, hey, drama. Like, even ourselves, like myself, I do get tired of it. Do I want to keep talking about CGC? I don't. But at the same time, guess what happens? People go here, they hit me up on Instagram, and they're like, hey, bro, I want to share with you my horror story. And because they don't have a voice, they're like, would you please share it? I'm like, yeah, let me look into it. Let me see what's going on. And you'd be surprised. Yeah, a lot of these folks don't want to come out and speak out behind the camera. Not everybody's willing to do this. So for me to go out and talk, I say, you know what? A savage soldier reached out to me. Here we go. This is something that a lot of people aren't going to like, but it's the truth. And sure as hell, there's people that come up. With everything that's happening with CGC right now, I have gotten freaking hundreds of messages. People are like, dude, I just sent in this book. Now this book is missing. Now this has happened. Look what happened to the damn book inside the well. And I'm just like, damn, like, I'm like, even for myself, I'm like, I'm not surprised. But even then, I'm just like, damn, like, that's disheartening to anybody. Like, you're collecting. You're like, damn, you guys ruined something that I had, something that possibly may have meant a lot to somebody Just like Sticky Goose is like, hey, you know what, this is, you know, Batman 181. I'm sure that Sticky Goose would be pissed if he, if somebody ruined the comic book that was in his father's collection. And that's, you know, there's a lot of people that are coming forward with those stories like that. They're like, dude, like, you know, I had this Spawn #1 and this meant the whole world to me. And now they're like, you know, they're up in arms about it. And who else is going to listen to them if they don't have somebody, you know, somebody that's like following them, or they have a mass following on their IG, Facebook, so on and so forth. Not a lot of people are going to care. I know that for a fact, because there's people that are going, somebody putting something valid on there and they got 30 freaking followers on Instagram. People just, and they'll just skip through it because they'll never show up in the feed. It does. Algorithm has a major factor with the way your stuff gets put out on Instagram, your stuff gets put out here on YouTube, your stuff gets put out on Facebook. It does play a major freaking factor. And that's why the folks, you know, they share it with us so that we can go ahead and share it with somebody.
You're muted, G-Man.
Yeah, I know. I let him finish talking. Sorry, THORO. Does it also have to do with how much content you put out as well?
Yeah. And listen, even if you put out a gazillion videos, doesn't mean that your videos are going to circulate. Like that's the other thing people don't realize. Like, you know, Sticky Goose, Martin, they made a great point. It's about the views. The more views people come, the more people share your videos, the more people are talking about the stuff, the more freaking, you know, the more traction you get. It really doesn't even come down to subscribership. You know, subscribership is great because, you know, those might be people that come back and watch your videos on a consistent basis. But at the same time, do you have people that are not subscribed to your channel who are viewing content? Oh, hell yeah, all the damn time. But again, it's literally the algorithm plays such a major factor in what gets put out there. Can some of these companies, for example, like CGC, could they have a hand in the mix where they say, like, you know, we don't want this person's content to be put out there referencing everything and anything CGC?
The corporations really are
100%, man. You know, but people will never see that. People will never believe it. They'll just say, hey, there goes another hater, or you know, so on and so forth.
And as far as a video, I mean, when I put a video out, I take it as somebody, this is potentially their first time seeing me, and it could be their last. I want to make an impression. I want them to feel something, whether that be anger, happiness, joy, nostalgia, feel something. Because I feel like this is my one shot, one opportunity to get.
I've got to stop you.
Why
do you worry about that?
I'm not worried about it. But if you're making content,
I'm worried about the impression I'm making. But why? Doesn't matter. Okay. Be yourself. It doesn't matter.
So, like, what I'm saying is the quality of the video. You know, it needs to be tightly edited. You need to respect the viewer's time. So, like, I'm always, when I make a video, I'm always putting myself in the perspective of the person watching it. I'm like, okay, are they going to get bored at this point? Do I grab them immediately? It's a difference between being yourself and then making a video that's tightly edited and constructed. So I am unapologetically myself, but in my videos, I do care how the person views it, because I want them to come back. I don't want this to be a once in a thing. I want them to return. And I don't think that's coming from a sense of why do I give a shit? I mean, of course I give a shit. I respect the viewer. I respect the viewer's time. Does that make sense?
Sure, it does. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it is unfortunate because some of my videos, specifically my biggest ones, I wish I could have rephrased certain things or come off a different way. And unfortunately, that is somebody's perception of Daniel. That is who you saw. And if you don't like it, that's fine. And carry on. It's just so many times you have just one chance. And if you don't make an impression, whether that be positive, negative, however, you've lost your chance with that person. And it's kind of like that in real life in a way, like first impression for everything.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, it is big. By the way, Daniel, I'm sorry to, the statue you got on the far left, is that Poison Ivy?
Yes, sir.
Do you have the Poison Ivy statue that I just seen the other day?
It's the prime.
Is that the Poison Ivy?
Yeah, it's the original one. I think they remade it with the skin tone flesh.
Oh man. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the statues have been a lot of fun to collect. They're unreasonable. It's not like a comic book. Like, I mean, to spend $1,000 on a statue versus $1,000 on a comic book, like it's a weird thing. I mean, I don't know where you guys would stand on something like that, but
I would like to, but I got no room.
Room is an issue.
Yeah. I got no room. That's the problem. I would like to, but I got no room.
You sound like Yoda, buddy.
The comic books are awesome. It's like, a book that is special, like $1,000 comic book. I mean, you're probably getting something pretty good, but is it going in your long box? Is it getting tucked away and you never seeing the thing? The statue is like, damn, this thing it's got presence. It means something. It's there. It's a physical thing. Comic book, especially like something big, like if you're spending that kind of money on a book, it means something more than just a comic book. Like you're buying it for the first appearance, you're buying it for the cover. You're probably not reading that shit. I mean, it's just that type of money in something, you're almost afraid to touch it in a way.
Yeah.
What's the point in having that book though if you hide it away? That's the thing I get wound up with.
Yeah. As somebody you've got your display there. I mean, comic books. I mean, they're not just for reading. They're not just for collecting. I think they can be for display. I think they can be shown off like that. I mean, there's a lot of people, I get a lot of hate saying, oh, the light's going to affect the books. I don't give a fuck. At least I get to enjoy, I get to enjoy the comics. I mean, they're not tucked away in my fucking basement. Yeah. I'm like,
I'm your favorite ones.
And I'm like, I don't care. Like, okay, they get faded. Well, this 2 millimeter plastic, I don't give a shit. It's like, okay, well, it's not UV resistant. Bitch, there's no UV down here.
Yeah.
I'm in a basement. So, I mean, there's a lot of scientists and chemists out there and, geniuses in there.
But, well, buddy, if you ever get the opportunity, show that poison ivy statue off one time. When you get the opportunity, I would love to see that. The Queen and I are big poison ivy fans, so that looks like a beautiful piece. I don't think you've ever done that, have you?
Yeah, I've made an unboxing video of it, but comic book people do not watch statue videos. Those are very different collectors.
Yep.
Yeah, the Gem Mint people are not the same people as the Very Gary and the Swaggle House and all those guys. Those are different people. And even the omnibus people. The comic book YouTube world is very strange. Like it
is.
The same people don't watch certain things. Like the content I watch is not necessarily super comic book related. One, because I don't want to be influenced by my contemporaries. I want to make original shit. I just don't want to make the same thing as somebody else. But another thing is I have other interests other than just the comic book collecting. Sure. I love the statues. I love the omnibus. I love the story. So yeah.
Any more questions, gentlemen?
So I got a good one.
Absolutely.
Sticky Goose.
Yes,
Is
sir.
there anything else you collect outside of the realm of comic books? And
I collect video games. I have a Super Nintendo, an NES collection. And I did that back in like 2015, 2016 when I first started getting some money and I got a real job. And those video game collecting is weird in that it's not like comics, it's not like statues. It's kind of, you look at that cartridge and I'm like, damn, there it is, $100. And it's cool and you can play it, but it's like, damn, it's not the same, bro.
Nope.
And I see a lot of I watch channels of video game guys and I see their libraries of PS4 and Xbox and PS2 and I'm like, yeah, I mean that's something.
Right.
it doesn't hit like this shit, man. I don't know. this stuff is different, man. I love video games. I play video games like, if not every day, every other day. But video games are not, it's just different to me.
Yeah, I got a few buddies in the community that are huge video game collectors. As an example, my buddy Byron last night was showing me, it's been a minute since I've seen his collection, and he was showing me his entire video game collection. You could barely walk in the room. He had stuff organized, but there was so much of it.
Yeah.
From old 8-bit games. I mean, going all the way back. The history was unreal. And I'm just like, wow, why don't you do something like that, or, try to show something on that? It's really interesting. So yeah, it is a total different ball game. That's for sure.
And you know what's funny about slabbing the video games
Yeah.
and Magic cards? I'm also into Magic the Gathering.
Awesome.
Dude, I just do not
Love Magic.
understand slabbing a freaking Magic card. Like, I don't get that shit. Because I'm like, I'm sleeving that up and I'm trying to win. Like, slab of like a comic book is so different, and I don't know why. I mean,
yeah, it is.
I've still got a comic book I cannot read, I cannot touch, and I don't know why.
Well, the cool thing about these days, though, even the ones you have slabbed, and even if they're really rare ones, you can still, there's a lot of places out there now you can actually find that book and read it online. So you can actually go through it, so you're not ruining the original piece of art. So, I mean, I get that.
Yeah, but the Magic the Gathering card, it's like, I mean, you got to have like a proxy or something. And then the video game, that's even a weirder thing, like slabbing the video game. I'm like, there is literally no purpose of this cartridge other than to play this.
Track and Field, most expensive video game out there. What are you doing, Martin? Hold on.
Yeah, Comixology.
There you go.
Damage your comics.
Yeah.
I never used to like digital.
J-Man, you can zoom in.
Huh?
Digital
you can zoom in.
It never did for me. I never liked reading digitally.
Digital was tough, but I got into it now because it made it so much easier. If I wanted to read a comic book, I just go right into it, search the title, and boom, done. Versus me having to go through all these boxes.
Getting back to the video game thing though, which is I just realized something. I got a couple of buddies in the community that like the hard copy of the game in their hand, and a lot of them are getting real lit now in the video game genre about digital copies. It's just like comic books on our end. And a lot of people are upset that you don't have a physical copy of the video game in your hand or in your collection. I like the digital version of it. They still have a lock. If you haven't lost your email account to whatever company you're using, you have that forever. But yeah, it's basically a license. If their servers go down, that whole thing,
But you have a lot of ways around it too. You got the emulators. You have a lot of stuff. I mean, that's how I play some of the older video games.
Sure.
Yeah.
And even with that though, you got to be safe, and you got to be smart about what emulators you're downloading and so on and so forth.
So, any more questions for Sticky Goose for Daniel?
No, I think I'm done with this guy.
Unsubscribe, dislike, F you.
No.
No.
How much of your collection is from like 2019 onwards? Did you get, obviously you mentioned that from your father, he had a lot. How much of it is net? What percentage is gained from after, let's say, 2019? And how much of it is past?
That's a great question. So I've really surprisingly thinned down my collection significantly. I have about 6 long boxes of my dad's collection. And I have about 10, 15 long boxes and short boxes of my own. And I've bought multiple collections between now, 2019 and now. And that's where I've gotten a lot of that stuff. But a lot of my key issues I have bought at conventions, online, stuff like that. And it's been within the past few years. So I have paid premium for a lot of books. I've done okay on some, but
Sure.
I have definitely taken my beatings. So if there was ever anybody to listen to as to what not to do in certain situations, this is my dad's collection. I don't want to get it twisted. Like it wasn't like it wasn't a gold mine in there. Like it wasn't like, we're retiring, into Florida on this. It was low grade books. It was books that were read, they were loved, they were used for their intended purposes of entertainment. And that's kind of what that was. The stuff that I've accumulated after has really been, putting runs together, stories that I wanted to read, key issues that I thought were cool or important or had great covers or were valuable. That's the stuff that I've put together. But the majority of how I read books are in the omnibus, the absolutes, the collected editions, because I get the best of both worlds. I get the physical copy, which I think we all agree that reading physically is better than digitally. And it's still something tangible that I get to collect and read. Does that answer your question? I don't know.
I can ask you lots of different questions as well. Can you endo?
Can I what?
Endo.
Endo.
Endo. Do an endo. Can you do an endo?
I'm sorry, I can't understand what you're saying.
I'm looking at your videos. I see you're a flat bar lover. I'm looking at some of your videos. So I'm in cycling.
Oh, cycling.
Yes.
Yeah. I have I used to race dirt bikes. I raced motocross from 2004 to 2010, 2011. And it was just way too dangerous. And I got out of that and I got into cycling. I definitely didn't. When you said endo, I didn't know whether you were smoking, like talking endo, like smoking that endo, or like flipping over the handlebar. Flipping over the handlebar.
Back end does your heavy braking on your front end.
Yeah, so like if you grab a big handful of front brake, yeah, I've definitely done that before. But yeah, I don't smoke any endo, only outdo.
No, I don't even know what it is when you're saying that, so I'm innocent to that. So
boy.
Martin. Yeah.
Because there's lots of things I'm into.
Of course.
I'm assuming you're from the UK. I mean,
yes, he is. He's from the UK.
Yeah.
Two wheel stuff over there is crazy. Like you guys are all about dirt bikes and cycling and everything. I wish it was like that in America.
I speak as in literally. I've got some Shimano brakes, disc brakes that I need to fit to another bike at the minute.
Top of the line Shimano's, man. I love it.
I'm fed with some crappy ones, so I'm going to replace them.
Looks like Weapon X has a question for Goose.
All right.
Where is it?
It's going to pop up.
Here we go.
It's the latest comment.
Names were limited, and you ended up calling yourself Sticky Goo. That's funny you say that. I've gotten a lot of plays on my name. The best has been Comic Journey. He called me Dicky Juice.
Oh, that crazy Greek.
That dude's funny as shit.
CJ, he's too much. He's too much. La 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 la.
Yeah.
My man has built up a following, never showing his face.
Oh yeah,
his face.
I've got him actually. I got a clip of him. Love it. That was great. Weapon X. That was awesome. Okay, you ready for the last two questions? Because I don't want to take up too much of your time. We're an hour and 26 minutes in.
Okay.
Hang on. Let me get you blown up here. We got to ask it. Right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
We have done it for everybody else. Okay, let's do an easy one. Do you have any inspirational thoughts or ideas for the community as a whole? You probably answered it, but just iterate.
Yeah, think for yourself. Come to decisions on your own. Don't let other people think for you. if you're in this hobby because you enjoy it, you're in this hobby because you like it, keep doing it. If you're in it for the cash grab or the investment or the whatever it is you think you're trying to do, if you're not in it for the love of it, do not do this.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. Excellent, buddy. Excellent. Ready for the next one?
Sure.
Okay. Probably going to be the same kind of idea, but I kind of want you to think about it. What does thinking outside the box mean to you? And not corporate thinking. Okay.
Yeah.
Please.
Just don't if everybody's walking left, go right. I mean, if everybody's standing in a line, ask why there is a fucking line. I mean, I that's one of those things that I never understood. I would say question everything. Question why is something being displayed in a certain way? Why am I getting information in a certain way? Just question everything.
Yeah, excellent. Excellent. Beautifully said. Whoa, wait a minute. I just lost everything here. What happened here?
Uh-oh.
There we go. Boom. Back up. Sorry. Say, better not happen. I'm paying a lot of money for this internet. Oh, there we go. Okay. What was it? What did he say? All right. So as we're boiling it down, Daniel, do you have any questions for any of us on the panel?
What do you guys got coming down the pipe? Jeff, start with
That's
you.
going to come later. It'll come at the end of the show. We're almost
my bad.
there. It's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. Any other questions? We'll get there, Jeff. Because we got people out there in the community that want to see some books. So if you've got some books you'd like to show, this is the perfect time to do it.
You got back there,
You got it?
all the slabs are up.
Yeah.
So you can post them.
I don't want to
Anything
risk
you want to talk about in particular? Anything new that you're reading? Anything like that?
Yeah, I don't really read new comics. I really, there's so many comics that I haven't read from the past, some of the best runs of all time. I'm reading Lucifer by Mike Carey,
Nice.
volume 2 right now. It's kind of that Sandman universe. Sandman's one of my favorite stories of all time.
Yep.
And that's what I'm reading.
Nice. Cool. Guys, you got anything, books or anything you want to show? Go ahead, buddy.
We do.
No, minimize me for the minute. I'm just teasing you.
All right, I'm
Well,
gonna shout some people out in the community then while we're doing it really quick.
Yeah.
So I want to thank Rebecca Rader out there. She had an auction a couple weeks ago. I go to a lot of the auctions, and one of my favorite writers and artists is Roy Thomas. And this is a modern book, but it is a graded book. And she gave me a pretty good deal on this. And I got a 9. She gave me a 9.8, but it's got Roy Thomas's signature.
Cool.
Which is cool. 2 Months to Die, Wolverine. So big shout out to Rebecca. Thank you so much. There's that one. And here is the other one. And it's signed by Roy Thomas. So very cool. Nice to have in the collection. Another shout out is to Rick Yavarski. Gave me some nice Poison Ivy books. My queen actually loves these. So big shout out to you, buddy. Thank you so much. Really, really, really nice. Even an Indiana Jones. Beautiful copy. And number 2, big time. And then a big shout out to Beta Ray Jim. I don't know how he knew. Didn't have it. It's a foil. I got the original. I probably got 3 copies of it. But now I got a foil cover of it. So some new stuff.
The reprint.
Cool.
Like
got some moderns here. Got some modern. I got a show. Sorry, guys. So, this. Very nice little sexy cover. I have a fascination with this character all of a sudden. So this is pretty cool. Ultimates 2. So Beta Ray Jim, thank you so much. Came in beautifully. Really, really nice. Really, really nice. There we go. And Hellfire. Boom. So thank you guys. Really appreciate it. That was for the community. Boom. And what else was there? And I think on next week's show, when I do it, I'm actually going to have a giveaway on that show. So hopefully everybody shows up. Hold on. There's Sandy. Robert, what do you, will you do a stream sometime soon, like G-Man after midnight and talk conspiracy stuff? I'm sure I'm going, of course. Yeah. So Courtney Weaver. I love Sandy. Yeah, we could do that if you wish. I could plan for it. Absolutely. And have Mr. White Gloves on at the same time.
No.
That'd be fun. That would be fun. Absolutely.
No aliens, remember.
Yeah, no aliens. Though. We can't talk xenomorphs. She doesn't like xenomorphs.
So no xenomorphs.
Cool. Anything else, gentlemen?
Well, I got a bunch of stuff to show off if you want.
Absolutely, Jeff. Go right ahead.
Well, Steve AOK'd me from something from what is it?
Oh, come on now.
Squatchy Comics.
Squatchy Comics.
Yeah.
Very nice. You did that work?
Yeah. Yeah. Steve AOK'd me this one. Yeah. Squatchy. And then I got from Frazetta Girls, I ended up getting Dark Wolf, so just got it right when the show started.
Go ahead, show it.
Yeah, I'm pulling them out now.
Out there. They love this. I love it.
So yeah, their first action figure. So
nice.
Yeah. So, and then I had Sarah and Joe and them sign it. So Sarah and
very
them signed
nice.
it.
So that's special. Cool.
Yeah. And then I got something from Varangian yesterday.
Oh yeah, our German brother.
Yep, that actually came in yesterday. So I got a Italian edition of Vampy, small Italian edition. So a digest size, and I actually put the translator to the thing, and it actually says "Bite me, please." That's what that means up there.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and then he sent me another Italian edition book. And then he sent me a bunch of German edition Vampies, and yep, he sent me a German edition Vampy here. What is it? It's one of the '90s runs. Once I can forget the run. I forget the writer, but yeah. And then
did he have the German variants? Did he have less clothing?
No, they're same thing. It's the same printing.
Oh, now Sandy's gonna be jealous.
Couple of she's, the German she's and the Italian she's. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Not much.
Very nice, buddy.
Yeah.
Nice little wall.
Yeah.
Cool.
Not much.
Satisfy the sexy guy covers though. Where's my guys at now?
Cool. Okay, stick around after the show, please. If you got time, please stick around. Daniel.
Well, it looks like a Weapon X has a question.
THORO. I wasn't gonna put it up there.
Yeah.
I didn't feel it was appropriate.
Yeah, I got you.
Let me see. Really? Martin, did you have one more question? You seem like you have one more question.
I've got a few things coming up. If we're going to go on that,
yes, we can do that. We can go right there. Go ahead.
Hopefully, I've just posted it. I've got a comic Advantage box coming. And it's number 35. Don't know whether it's Comic Advantage's last box that he's going to do. Probably wish I got two, but I got one of them. Stevie B got a good comic in his, and I had a joke with him behind the scenes that he got that. I bet I get a titty book. No, he got the titty book, so hopefully I don't. I'm just not into that. So yeah, Comic Vantage. Oh, if you know Comic Vantage.
Oh yeah.
So got that coming. I've just posted that. I've got something else more important coming up, and now I'm going to look where I've lost the picture.
Oh, you finally got it?
Well, we'll see.
Oh, excellent, buddy. You've been hunting for that forever.
Yeah, well, you stick to your guns and stick to your prices, and
Yep.
then something comes up. So we'll see. And then I'm
Excellent.
going to send it away to that dodgy company, and hopefully they might swap some pages on it and give it a better grade. So if not, I'm going to find that person and his other username and send it to him, and then he can sort it out for me.
Cool. Was that
But
it?
I never said that online. So
Okay.
I've got some G-Shock videos coming up.
Excellent.
I've got quite a few bits coming up, and we'll go from there. And I got added as a super fan for G-Shock the other day on Facebook, so that was good. So
Nice.
and that's it for the minute. I keep on putting out the videos. No one watches them, but I don't care. So
Cool. Jeff?
no,
One more
Yeah,
thing.
Martin had something else.
Don't waste the time here. Go. Oh, wait a
Go
minute.
ahead,
Well,
buddy.
yeah. So I got a couple of things coming up. Probably gonna do a review on Vampy Dead Flowers. The whole, since it's 4 issues, I'm probably gonna do a release synopsis and a quick thing about Sarah's little run of Vampy. Then I got the Jose Gonzalez stuff coming up. Working on that, and then Inridge and all those old school Hispanic artists from the original run. So I'm gonna be doing a bunch of videos on them, but working on that now and trying to edit it and everything else is a pain in the butt. But that's all I got coming up right now. So
My buddy, THORO, brother. go
Listen,
ahead.
man. Yeah, man. Listen, I appreciate everybody, and again, I'm still mad at you, Robin, for not telling me StickyGoose was gonna be here, but it's all right. I see how it works. But no, man. Listen, yeah, you guys will catch me.
Cool.
THORO Comics here on YouTube. Keep it THORO on IG. That's about it for me. Next title, scam, drama.
Love you, buddy.
That's really what
Thank you for coming, buddy.
I appreciate you, man.
Cheers,
Thank
man.
you, brother.
And, buddy,
Dude,
go ahead.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate
Absolutely.
you. And that little video montage, that was a hype. I like that.
Excellent. Good.
Thank you to everybody that came in the live stream and asked me questions and stuff. I really appreciate that. That anybody cares, that anybody watches. I appreciate it.
Excellent. I appreciate it as well. Big time. And I really appreciate you sticking it out with us today. Big time. Daniel, you were awesome. Fantastic guest.
Thank you.
And you're welcome back anytime. So anytime I do an open mic, you can actually come on and be a co-host with the rest of us.
Yeah, I want to get in with those guys that are the smack talkers about those dealers and those shows. Those guys were fun.
Oh, yeah. The Comic Hawk, yeah.
The Comic Hall crew. I want to be
Comic
on
Hall crew.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I'll reach out to them.
that. Funny.
I posted the
Yeah.
links quite a few times on about them.
I've got something before we go.
Go ahead, buddy.
I started watching something new, and there's a lot of hype behind it, and not bothered about watching it. And we watched this thing called Strange Things the other day, and we're on the second season.
I thought he was gonna say Echo.
I don't want to know about your ectoplasm, so shut up about that. Funny thing is, everyone says it's like the Goonies. If anyone's ever seen Erie, Indiana, the program, there's the kids program in the 90s, I think. It reminds me of Erie, Indiana. Also, and this is asking all the panel now, minimize me. Can everyone remember Police Academy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Have you noticed how someone's son is on there?
Oh,
Do you know Zed, the character of his second season, turns up in the car? His name's not Zed, but he turned. Oh, what's his name? He's got the sister Max. If you
yeah. Everybody says he can play Evil Ernie too.
yeah.
no, it looks like Zed, the one from Police Academy that talked like this, really weird.
Yeah.
It looks like his son.
Oh my goodness.
Everyone said like, oh, he's a hottie. No, he just reminds me distinctly of that person off Police Academy.
Oh yeah.
and just think, he's weird, he is.
Nice. Okay, just hang on there, guys. Just hang on. We're going to cut it. Give me a sec. All right. And you community, thank you so much. All my guests on the panel today, all their links are down below. Please go check them out. Please go support them. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. You know what to do. Be good to one another. Bam, 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 bam. I can go on and on. So peace, love, blessed be. You guys are wonderful. Thank you, community. And we will see you next Saturday with another guest. We got TMNT coming on the show. So hope to see you next Saturday. And there might be a giveaway that day. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. Peace.